So good morning, folks. This is Tim Ealer. Hope you're doing well today. Um, we have moisture streaming on west here, and it looks like some snow going on here with some heavy bands of snow into parts of Michigan, Sault Ste. Marie, Buffalo. So pretty impactful event in these areas, and maybe some precip ongoing here. Some showers and storms and some icing and snow in different areas, higher terrain here. And today's the last day for the flooding out west here. And then we're going to have some relatively quiet conditions to moving into some maybe flooding concerns towards the end of the week here. And I appreciate y'all watching my channel here. Like my video if you like it, subscribe, and share with your friends. And now let's get started with the rest of the forecast. So current national hazards going on today. Not a lot going on, but some stuff here, especially dense fog in Georgia, Florida, North Dakota, South Dakota, with some wind and weather advisories to Minnesota, Wisconsin, some marine advisories up here, cold weather advisory into Maine this morning, parts of New Hampshire. All right. Special weather statement here. Lake and Chance snow band here. That's I don't see anything on the radar, but that was there anyway. Okay. Let's take a closer look at the radar here. And maybe there was something there, but not anymore. All right. All right. So we also have special weather statement. Looks like dense fog in the parts of Texas. Red flag warnings in northern Texas, parts of Colorado. Some wind warnings, high wind warnings, high wind watches into Montana, Wyoming. Winter weather advisories, winter storm warning into southern, southeastern Idaho, with some winter storm watch into northern Idaho here, Missoula area. Out west, we have a flood watch along the Northern California coast. Winter storm warnings, and then some winter weather advisories in the Utah near just to the west of Las Vegas. Looks like winter weather advisories. Some marine warnings along the California coast. And up in the Cascades, we'll have winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories, winter storm watch, all kind of different winter weather type advisories going on right now today in the west. And special weather statement here, dense fog, in the western side of the Cascades this morning. As far as current temps, overall not extremely cold for most of the U.S., with the exception of parts of northern Maine, Vermont, Massachusetts in the single digits here, with the rest of the nation generally in the teens in the coldest areas. Even in Montana and North Dakota, Minnesota, only in the 20s to teens this morning. Cold air is pretty far south into Colorado and these areas, but overall not that cold. Warming up nicely into Texas, already in the 50s this morning. Parts of the south in the 40s. Of course, southern portion of the U.S. in Miami near 66, and further south, of course, warmer. But overall, not overly cold for the U.S. this morning. So what's expected in Georgia for this week for temperatures? These are graphic from the Atlanta FFC, Peachtree City, National Weather Service office. Today, you can see the difference from average in temperatures and how warm it's going to be. This is for the Atlanta area. 62 for a high, which is 8 degrees above normal. 67 on Tuesday, which is 13. Wednesday, which is 17 above normal. Thursday, which is 72. which is 18 above normal, and forecast high 73 on Friday. Most of the area should be 15 to 25 degrees above average on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 70s for the highs the second half of the work week, and dry weather to at least Friday. And then temperatures by the end of the weekend will likely cool off some. But for right now, we have a dense fog advisory for portions of the eastern forecast area, generally east of Atlanta, into parts of northern North Carolina and South Carolina here. For today, high in the 60s generally to upper 50s up north, partly sunny skies. Tonight, lows in the 40s generally to near 50 in the far southern parts of the forecast area, partly cloudy skies for most of the state. Tomorrow, again, forecast to be in the 60s to near 70 to the low 70s in far southern Georgia. Maybe slight chance of showers here in the northern part of the state tomorrow. So as far as temps go, we talked about this in the mid 70s up until Sunday, then cooling off quite a bit with cold frontal passage. And then generally in the 50s for highs, to near 60. And starting off the lows, maybe possibly being near freezing. And this is for the local area here, Warner Robins area. Lows generally in the 30s to 40s. Really near normal temperatures profiles here, at least according to this model run, maybe slightly below normal, but overall not breaking any records with these temperatures. So as far as excessive rainfall, we have the last day of flooding possibilities out here out west with a marginal risk into San Francisco, parts of Sacramento, Chico again, Red Bluff and Redding, Lakeport, just to the south of Eureka. For day 2 tomorrow, which is Tuesday, not showing any risk of excessive rainfall here. Day 3, which is Wednesday, nothing on the map. Till day 4, we have this stretched out risk into parts of Oklahoma, generally starting from Muskogee up to Fort Wayne, Indiana, south of Princeton, Kentucky, Kenneth, just a sliver of Tennessee here, northern Arkansas, Mountain Home, generally up towards Kansas City area, just south to Morris, Illinois. Day 5, that threat moves further south here. Day 5 is Friday. And this was where you could have a severe weather threat as well, generally in this area, but nothing on the map right now. Excessive rainfall possible here. Parts of Kentucky, Bowling Green, Somerset, Harlan, generally up to Cincinnati, Ohio area, maybe southern Ohio, into Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham area, all into parts of most of Tennessee, northeast Mississippi, generally to Grenada, Duck Hill, Alamo, Tennessee here, all the way to Madison, Kentucky, and just a small sliver of southeast Indiana. And maybe parts of Virginia here, North Carolina, and Georgia, northwestern Georgia to northeastern Georgia, in on this as well, with the higher terrain getting involved here. As far as severe weather, there's not really a lot on the map, just general thunderstorms for the shoreline of California here, and in the Intermountain West, Utah, Colorado. All right. And then for tomorrow, no thunderstorms expected, interestingly enough. Then with that ejection of the trough here towards on Wednesday, maybe the thunderstorms in the Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a severe threat crop up somewhere in this area, but we'll see how that plays out. And the northwest coast of, the west coast of the U.S., Washington and Oregon coastline, maybe have some thunderstorms on Wednesday. When it comes to 3 to 7 day hazards, excuse me, we're looking for the possibility of heavy rain here in the Ohio Valley to Mississippi Valley, the 8th through the 9th of January, and this period is the 7th through 11th. Day 3 to 7 hazards outlook issued yesterday. Heavy snow possible up here into the northwestern U.S. In the Cascades and to parts of Alaska on the 9th, with high winds possible for southern Alaska on the 7th. As far as day 8 to 14, U.S. hazards outlook, we have a risk of heavy precip slide here. We don't have anything on it this time. We moved into the closer range period here for heavy precip, and after that, nothing expected the 12th through the 18th of 2026. Risk of heavy snow into the upper Midwest, the northern high plains, down into parts of Colorado here, which is a change from recent times. So be interesting to see if we get snow here the 16th through the 18th. Risk of high winds on the period the 12th through the 15th in the southwest U.S. No hazardous temperatures expected through the period. As far as day 6 to 10 temperature outlook, got an interesting look to this year. What looks to be kind of a reversal of a pattern that we've seen lately, with warmer than normal temps anticipated all in the northern to the U.S., especially trending above here into the northern high plains and the northeast and out west, with near normal temps in the south, likely due to maybe some enhancement with moisture. Cloud cover. We'll have to look at that some more, but below normal temps up here into Alaska, and warmer than normal, maybe just in the far southeastern Alaska, below to above Aleutian Island chain, and above to near normal in some of the Hawaiian Islands. 6 to 10 day precip outlook, looking below normal for a good portion of the U.S., which is unfortunate. Out west, they don't really need the rain, but for the south, we do. Alaska, near normal to above normal. Far southern Texas, maybe near normal to above. And the eastern and northern high plains, parts of the northern high plains, upper Midwest and northeast, maybe above normal chance of precip. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, still trending above normal out west, near normal in the east, below normal here in parts of the Florida Peninsula to near normal in the southern tip of the peninsula, and again above normal up here in the northeast, extreme northeast U.S. And you can see the different areas here below and above in Alaska, Aleutian Island chain, and Hawaii. Now we look at the 8 to 14 day precip outlook, the 12th to the 18th, issued yesterday. Still below normal for the south for precip chances. Out west, above normal for the northern tier of the U.S. So far as southern U.S., above. Alaska and Hawaii above normal, and above normal in the northeast. And here's the monthly temperature outlook issued at the end of December for January, expecting a below normal temps for the Midwest, upper Midwest, northern high plains into the northeast. Equal chances in between. Expecting above normal chances in the desert southwest and the southern Texas, with less likelihood of above normal temps for you closer to the central U.S. Equal chances of above and below in parts of Alaska to below normal in the southeast portion. Precip hanging on to below normal precip chances in the southeast is to Florida, to South Texas here. The rest of the U.S., the equal chances are above here in the parts of Wyoming, Montana, down into the desert Southwest, Idaho, generally east of the mountainous terrain here, and equal chances in Alaska, different areas above and below in far southern Alaska. As far as week 3 to 4 temperature outlook, it should be issued for the last week of January, and this will be issued again on the 9th, 17th to 30th. We maintain this colder than normal pattern for the northern tier of the U.S., equal chances in the middle of the U.S., and maintaining above normal temperature profile. It looks like right now for the southern U.S. into the central parts of the south central U.S., the generally along the front range of the Rockies up into parts of Oregon and Idaho. All right, and above normal to equal chances to below in the far southeast, Alaska. Equal chances to above on the Aleutian Island chain, with above normal for Hawaii. In week 3 to 4 precip outlook, you see the areas here where it's trending possibly lower than normal precip chances. Near normal for the central U.S., Texas, the Four Corners region, desert Southwest. Above normal in the areas here into Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, in those areas, and the rest of the U.S. equal chances. Equal chances in Alaska to below normal chances, leaning below here, and as far as southern Alaska, equal chances to below in the Aleutian Island chain and above in the Hawaiian Islands. So this is a panel from the Colorado State University machine learning algorithm site, and this shows the probability of what their thoughts are on severe weather and what days. And you can see the probability on the 8th here between 5 and 15%, generally in this brown area here, right? So not a lot of confidence in it right now, but overall this general area is being looked at. And a little bit further north into the Ohio Valley in a small sliver here. I don't even know why that's there, if that really matters or not for Friday. We'll just have to see. Even Wednesday has a little dot right here, which I think statistically is pretty meaningless. So maybe Thursday into Friday is the biggest risk, I think, right now. So when we look at the mid-level, we look at forecasts, excuse me. I always look at the mid-levels because it gives us a best idea of the flow in the atmosphere, right? So this is the European ensemble model, okay? Starting off today, generally 7 p.m., that trough along the East Coast. Let me get my pen up here. Not the East Coast, the West Coast of the U.S. Got a little off track there, right, with that moisture coming on shore, okay? And you have flow generally over the Rockies, right? Zonal flow here, regime going on, really, with some ripples in the flow up here, of course. But generally, this low drops to the south. And you see what happens here. We start getting a trough dig generally in the west. This is going to be a main player in our weather in the coming days, right? And where this trough ejects and where we get our surface cyclone will likely lead to where our flooding is and our severe weather in the coming days, right? And this is Saturday, January 10th. You can see the warmer temps are going to really build here, okay? The colder temps digging down this way, cold front pushing through eventually, which will lead to a cool down towards the end of the week. And we talked about that in the Georgia temperature outlook after Sunday, right? All right, so you can see what the temperatures look like here at this point in the model run. All right, and this is 0Z run today. Well, technically it's yesterday, but 0Z, and it's still running, I think, right now. The warmest temps all the way up into Cincinnati area in the 60s, maybe close to 70 along the coast here. We stepped this back in time. South Texas and Florida near an 80 degrees. Even southern Georgia, possibly that warm. The cold air is pulled up to the north here, right? But you see it pushing south generally, right? Towards the end of this run, which is January 11th at 7 a.m., the cold air is suppressed further south. Oh, not bitterly cold here. These are mean temperatures, right? So 20, 30 degrees here. When we look at the total precip associated with this pattern, okay, the most precip is really up here on the west coast here, up to the north of San Francisco, and most of that precip seems to fall towards the end of the period here. The beginning of the period on the California coast, and more up here in the Canada, Western Pacific Canada here, later in the period. And you see later in the period as well where that excessive rainfall outlook is. Maybe some snow and rain up here in the upper Midwest at the end of the period here. When we start off this run, this shows the total snowfall. We have that ongoing snow up here right now, right? And we have this system dropping to the south in the central part of the U.S., maybe bringing some snow back to the Colorado area. And it looks like the higher terrain of the west is going to be in on it, with the cold air suppressed, pushed further north. The highest snowfall totals will stay up almost all into Canada here. And generally, there's a line here going between Denver up to Omaha to Minneapolis where you might get some snow, highest snowfall amounts. But the rest of the nation looks to not get a lot of snow with this. Maybe some in the Appalachians, up into the lake effect favorite areas, St. John's, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Quebec. But again, for the southern tier of the U.S., not looking too likely for snow with this forecast. So, for this week, we have the prospect of heavy rain towards the end of the week with maybe some severe weather in this general area Thursday or Friday, with a cold push of air towards the weekend, to the generally, cold front pushing through with maybe some enhancement up here as well in the northeast. But overall, the pattern out west is going to calm down quite a bit. And we'll have to see how this plays out after the cold frontal passage this weekend, and how much heavy rain we get in the Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, in the coming days. That's all I got for today, guys. Hope you have a good day, and God bless.